33 years. Quite a diversified career also with the Mississippi Department of Corrections, District Attorney's Office with our now Circuit Judge, Keith, an elected constable for 20 years. 20 years. And with the last 4 right here with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office with us. As you can see by this room, you've got a lot of not only friends, but new extended family that you come in contact and make connections with over your career in the last 33 years. So I appreciate you. I appreciate what you've done for law enforcement, for Jackson County over your career, the friends and connections that you made, and this room full speaks for itself. A reflection and a testament to your career, and not only your career, but who you are as a person in the community, your family, your extended family, your law enforcement family, and you'll continue to be appreciated. I know I will. I'll call on you for some things here and there. I'm ready for those stories of the judges. Ty, I'll close by saying you're appreciated very much so. Thank you, Ms. Thompson, for having me speak on behalf of the Sheriff's Department and a friend of Ty's. So thank you so much, Ty. I wish you the best in your retirement, and I think I speak for everybody that's in this room and say if you need something, you call us. And you've got a lot of people here that you can depend on. A lot of people have probably been there calling you for a floor job or something like that, or something in the future. I don't think you'll be slowing down because I know you, Ty, and you're not going to be the one just to retire totally. So, once again, congratulations, brother. I appreciate it. Appreciate what you mean to me and everybody in this room and to law enforcement right here in Jackson County. Thank you.
I just want to thank everybody for coming to celebrate my dad tonight. It's very appreciated to all of us. I like to call myself his sidekick because I was given the nickname Lil Ty. I'm more like him than both of us would like to admit. Growing up, when I was asked who was my hero or what do I think makes a good hero, all I could answer was my dad. No matter how old I get, my dad will always be my hero. He's hardworking, loyal, and passionate. My dad is the main person I definitely look up to. He may be crazy and silly at times, but in my book, that's what makes him great. Now, I'll admit, we've had our fair share of ups and downs, but I wouldn't change anything for the world. Now, I get to tell my favorite story with me and my dad. He had just gotten off of work, so he was still in his uniform. Some may already know the story. After he had picked up toddler Cambry, my sneaky little self waited until he was distracted and grabbed the radio that was on his shoulder and pressed the button and said, "What y'all doing?" into the radio. They called back and said, "C1, you got traffic?" That's when I knew I was going to be the favorite child. I now have a surprise for everyone, especially my dad. To show how much you mean to me, I got a tattoo in your honor. Please don't kill me, I love you. But it has a heartbeat like you see on the monitor and your C1 number with a blue line. So I hope that shows just how much you mean to me and how proud I really am of you. Thank you.
Now, before I begin my speech, I have to tell a little story. This morning when I woke up, I got on my sister's computer and wrote my speech, had it all printed out, perfect. I get here today, I had left it in my mom's car because I didn't want my dad to see it, because he would have fine-tuned it and picked through it, and he wanted to know what I'm going to say. And he said this morning, "I am more nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs." And he should be. But I get here today and I'm like, "Hey Mom, my speech is in your car. Can I go get it?" I get out there. The one day this year she decides to clean out her car is today, and my speech was gone. So if you saw me earlier today and I looked like I was in a panic, I was. So I had to handwrite the whole thing. So here we go. But before I give the speech, I need to get some business out of the way. On behalf of the President and First Lady of Jackson County District 1, I want to thank you all for coming today. So now that that's out of the way, we want to thank you so much for joining us for celebrating my dad's retirement. I'm sure by looking at my siblings here, my brother Christian, my sister Cambry, that I am the straight-laced, by-the-book, clean-cut, non-controversial sibling that they have. So just know that there will be no sarcasm in this speech whatsoever. One of our country's greatest presidents once said in a speech 407 years ago, and that's about how long it was that my dad started working for the state of Mississippi. And just like old honest Abe, he didn't know what he was getting into either. I was about 8 years old when my dad sat me down at our kitchen table and said, "What do you think about me running for office?" I said, "Heck yeah," enthusiastically. But also, like honest Abe, I also didn't know what was to come. And my dad was elected. I became the first son of Jackson County District 1. And I had no idea what was in store. From going door to door to attending events and speeches, to braving the blistering heat and the sore legs to campaign for him, I would do it all over again 1,000,000 times. It was tough, but being the first son of Jackson County District 1 has its perks. But somebody has to do it. My dad always was sure to make sure to teach us life lessons that we needed to know, whether we asked or not, usually unprompted. And some of the stuff we still use to this day, like how to defend ourselves from an assailant with a knife if you have no weapon, how to be aware of your surroundings, or how to make a toilet paper tornado in the toilet. How you do that is you take the toilet paper, you roll it out a little bit, put it in the toilet, flush it, and then it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. And then you gotta snatch it. He also taught us by example. He taught us how to be a person with integrity. He taught us how to be honest, even if it's to your own detriment. And he also taught us to be kind to others without passing judgment. But most importantly, he taught us how to, and pardon my French, bust a cap in somebody's ass if you need to. My dad is an inspiration to me with how dedicated he is to his craft. And I wish you nothing but a long and happy retirement if you ever stop working. And that should start 3 weeks ago, but everybody knows him. He can't stop, won't stop. I thank you all for coming. Oh, one more thing. I didn't get paid to say this, but for all your flooring needs, call Thompson Flooring at 228-588-1201. Again, that is 228-588-1201, located on Highway 613, four-way stop in Hurley. So make sure you do that. All right, thank you so much.
Well, I did not put my speech in Mom's car. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone that made it out today. It means a lot to not only my dad, but to our family as well. It's a huge honor for everybody to be here tonight. It's just awesome to see how many people came. How many people know me that I don't know what their name is. But the people here today shows the type of impact my dad has had, not only on his immediate family, but everyone that surrounds him, whether that be at work or in the community or his children's friends and spouses. Everyone that comes around him gets treated the exact same. Whether that be, do you have free reign to go in the pantry, or I have free reign to make fun of you. It's the same authority. There are many stories that have been told, and many more to come, about my dad's time in law enforcement. Stories that will make us laugh, stories that make us cry, and stories that make us ponder and appreciate what men like him do every day. I don't want to tell one of those stories. I want to explain who he is as a father to me and my siblings. Growing up, my dad has always been my hero, and it had nothing to do with him being an officer. He's the greatest man I will ever know. He treats everyone he meets with the utmost respect and makes them feel like they belong. You can see that in how he treats the friends of his children, like I mentioned earlier. These two guys right here, two of my best friends, Ben and Ryan, you can ask them. But you can ask them, it's like they've always been a Thompson. There's no separation of they're in a different family, they're here, but no, they're more like brothers under my dad. So all of our friends have always been treated that way, and let's see, I gotta go to the next page. But they've always been able to come in the house as if this is where they live. And you don't always see that. I know growing up, you go to other people's houses and it's not always like that. So it was awesome to know like my dad was. The environment we grew up in of being welcoming to our friends is because of the man our dad is. He always makes sure everyone else is taken care of first, even when it's to his own detriment. He has been a prime example for me on how to treat my wife and future family of my own. I don't always live up to that example, but it is a shining light in my life and what I aim to be as a man. The other ingredient to what makes my dad so great is the laughter he brings to the room he is in. My mom mentioned that earlier, and if I'm also putting it in my pre-written speech, that should tell you something. Those that know him closely know him as a quick-witted jokester. Those who don't know him closely probably do as well. I have yet to see a household that laughs as much as ours does. Through the good times and through the hard times, he always made sure there was something funny that either happened or he said to bring laughter. You know, one of us could come home, had a rough day at school, but I knew at home I was going to laugh about something that night. No matter what, there was always joy in our home. And our whole family and close friends can attest it is because of him. And to conclude, I would like to say, if you leave today, leave with anything today, leave with this. Ty Thompson deserves to be celebrated, not only because of his service in law enforcement, but because of how great of a man, husband, and father he is. I grew up with the greatest dad in the history of the world, and we all need to band together to get him to actually stop working.
Ty's wife, she's actually been married to him for 30-something years.
That is not a lie.
60-something.
He robbed the cradle, in case y'all were wondering. He really did. First, I want to say I could not have pulled this together without Neely, Carrie, Sissy, and especially Karen, who would let me bounce ideas off of her and she would make them happen. So thank you guys for throwing me ideas and we would just run with it. So, and Cambry, yes, hi, baby girl. She's the youngest, that happens all the time. But yes, she actually designed the invitations, so that was her idea. Okay, a family born not from a bloodline, but bonded in life by a blue one. That does not only include the officer, that includes his whole family. For example, if we all go out to eat, we all know which chair Ty's gonna pick. And if you sit in it, he will ask you to move. Can I get a witness?
Look where he's at right now.
That's right, that's right. It's very difficult to surprise him with anything because he will figure it out. One, I cannot lie. My face will say I'm lying. But we got him last night. It wasn't me, it was actually Christian who surprised him, but I knew about it. So, those of you who know Ty well know that he's very loyal, almost to a fault. He's driven like nobody I've ever seen. And he's very by the book. We call him at our house old school. And we tell him all the time he was born in the wrong era.
She right.
Another thing about Ty is he is the same whether he is at a church function or arresting someone. He might be a little more aggressive at church. But he is the same. He is one of the hardest working men I know. But he always made time for our children. Those who know Ty well know how funny he is. There has always, even before we had kids, there was laughter in our home. And he sets the precedence for that. One of our family mottos is we will either laugh with you or at you. The choice is yours. And those of you married to cops know that cop humor is at a whole different level. When you have a 30-year career in law enforcement, everybody knows you. We can't go on a plane in Houston without somebody saying, "Hey, Ty." We were at a burger joint in Jackson, some hole in the wall. Like, why people even knew that it existed, I don't know. And we were walking up and somebody says, "Hey, Ty, what are you doing here?" And we're all like, "You have got to be kidding me." He is well known, which is also why the kids
Can't get away with nothing.
they could not get away with anything because everybody knew who their daddy was. The last day he was a sheriff's deputy, we stopped by a business and a guy was working on a handicap ramp. And when Ty walked by, he said, "Officer T." That was from the restitution center, which was his first job. And I thought, wow, we have come full circle. When we were first married, we literally passed each other on the road. He got off at 8 in the morning. I had to be at work at 9. And so we a lot of times just waved, hey. But I always told people that's why we got along so well. But law enforcement officers need spouses that are strong, because there will be times when you feel like a single parent, especially if they have a side job. Or two, right.
Or 3.
He did quit one of them though. Ty, thank you from my whole heart. God gifted you with a strength that exceeds any measure, and a courage that allowed you to break many generational curses, pursue a long career in a dangerous field, and most important of all, stay faithfully married to me, because I know I can be a hot mess. I just want you to know that I appreciate you more than you could possibly know. I love you, baby.
1993, I think, that's when I started working with the district attorney's office, and he was working with probation and parole. Sometime later, I got elected to the position of district attorney. Ty came to work with me, ran my pretrial diversion program. We remained friends through all the years. Last year, I got appointed as the youth court judge for 6 months out of the year. Ty was one of the bailiffs out there. This year, I became a circuit court judge, and Ty came over and was a bailiff for me there at the end of his career. So I've known him a long time. And the entire time I've known Ty, the dude has always worked at least 2 full-time jobs. Always. When he was with probation and parole, he did floors. When he ran the pretrial diversion program, he did floors. Then he became a constable and he did floors. Then he was the constable and became a deputy sheriff and he did floors. And so, you know, the guy is amazing work. He did the floors in my house, and I've seen a lot of houses that he's done showers and all this other stuff in. And for a guy that can do that much amazing work with his hands, you would think that fool could send text messages without a problem. So one of these I've got to look up. I've got to go back and look it up. Now, this was just a couple of weeks ago. He sends me a text. And it says, do you have docket tomorrow? And that's T-O. The next word is more, and the last word is just the letter O. And he follows that up with, sorry. Tomorrow, apostrophe S. I'm high on Valium, having an MRI in a few minutes. M-I-N-U-T-S. Now, understand, a guy that would run into a middle of a fight and fight anybody and get shot at and never blink, this son of a bitch couldn't do an MRI on his knee without Valium. All they do is stick your leg in the machine. The whole top half of your body's out here on the table. Look, it was so bad that Kathy called me and she was talking to me. They made her put her phone up because they thought she was going to film Ty. because he was laying on the bed trying to talk to somebody. He called somebody a son of a bitch. And didn't even know the guy. And that was just getting his knee done. Okay? But hold on. It does get better. So many years ago, Ty was out of town, and I don't know if he was playing softball or what. He was doing something, and he was texting back and forth with Kathy and Cambry. Cambry was a lot younger. They were texting back and forth, and he had hurt his knee. And so they sent a text to him. They said, how's your knee doing? So he sends a text back. And Cambry looks at it. She reads it. She goes, Mom, who is Hope? And Kathy says, I don't know anybody named Hope. She said, well, Dad does. And she said, why do you say that? Because he sent a text that said, Hope tits are better. Now, I'm assuming what he meant to say, I hope it's going to be better. But that's not what he said. And again, this is a guy that does intricate work with his hands every day, and he can't send a text message. But I'm not going to lie to you. One of the best ones happened earlier this year. So you guys know that Tuga's provided the food today, so we need to give them a round of applause. And anybody that knows Ty or me or a bunch of these other deputies and stuff, we're pretty big Tuga fans. We go eat there just about every Friday, and then maybe another couple of days during the week. So I'm sitting on the bench, and Ty sends me a text, because you understand that when police officers generally get to work in the morning, the first 2 hours are spent figuring out where they're going to eat lunch. That's just a general rule. So we're in court, and Ty sends me a text. And I know what the text is supposed to say. It was supposed to say, do you want to go to Tuga's for lunch? But what the text said was, you want to do 2 guys for lunch? So I sent him a text back and said, hell no. And so that is Ty Thompson. I don't know what to tell you. I tried to tell him there is a button on here you can push and say it into your phone, and it'll print it on there instead of using it. Is that what he uses? That's even worse. But seriously, Ty is a great guy. I've known him, like I said, since 1993. Have had a lot of interaction with him and his family over the years. He's a great guy. I'm glad to see he's getting to retire. I hate that he's not going to be at the courthouse anymore. But ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ty Thompson. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I did forget. There was one other thing. Several years ago, Ty was at home, and I don't know what was wrong with him, but something. And he took the wrong medication. And so, well, at least that's what he says. He said, hang on, he says he took the wrong medication. And he started singing a song about it while he was looped out in the bed. Kathy, being the good wife that she is, videoed it. And when he came to his senses, she said, you want to see what you did yesterday? And he said, yeah. And she showed it to him. He said, look, you cannot. She said, oh, it's okay. Oh, he said, is it on the internet? She said, not yet. And she said, you cannot show that to anybody until I retire. That's today. So everybody try to get a view of this, and those of you that don't get to see it good right now, we'll keep playing it. We'll put it on a loop, and you can come by and see it.
We counted down the days. How about we counted down the days?
Beautiful blackmail at later date and time.
That's the way my minutes.
Somebody call my mama and tell her bye-bye. Goodbye, my darling. Goodbye, my darling. Goodbye, my darling. Don't you know it's the way it's gonna go? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, my darling. Goodbye. I took the wrong memories. I'm starting to be a menace. Glad my name is not Dennis. Today and every day, every night, I gotta get my medicine right. Got it wrong. I wrote this song about my medicine. It is wrong.
You done, Daddy?
We went to the north, we went to the south. I took the wrong medicine in my mouth.
If we start singing it too, just hide.
Is that Ty or that
No,
man?
don't sing it.
Got me feeling cookie. How about you? Throw it away is bad medicine. Throw it away is bad. Throw it. Why do you take it?
Because it's funny.
No! Turn it away. Turn it away off.
It's
eyeballs.
Turn it away off.
okay, it's on.
It's the way it's supposed to be.
Daddy. It's still on video. Okay, it is off.
You're telling a big step forward.
What?
You're telling a big step forward. You're telling a story.
big fat story.
Your eyes, Daddy.
It's the first part.
Look, Daddy.
It's a different email.
Night.
2 emails.
Carrie.
Danny.
Be still.